Yeah. Yeah. I hear it. I hear the streaming coming back at me.
Oh,
Hey everybody, it's John. I'm just going to noodle here for a few minutes while we wait for people to come in. Hey Scott, how you doing?
why are you hearing it back?
Check all the make sure the sound is turned off.
Oh, this one. How do I turn that off?
Top. There you go. Ah, little technical issues. I'm sure we're going to have a few of those today. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Almost about 5 minutes in. Yeah. So cool. Here we are at the beginning of the live stream. A couple minutes early, but we're here, ready to go. Yeah, yeah. You might recognize that song. That was of our favorites from the '70s, and the old Yes song, "Mood for a Day," certainly. And want to thank you for joining the first ever live stream. And be sure to go over in the chat and put in a comment, because then you're in there for the giveaways. And the first live stream we were going to do a few weeks back now was delayed because of my brand new grandson's birth. And the arrival of that kind of took us by storm, and literally by storm. And we just got back from Washington visiting with him, so that was very cool. Have a little bit of time for that. So a little bit of housekeeping. So where to write questions over on the right-hand side. You can put in comments and questions and chat if you like. And obviously you got to go down the bottom of the screen where it says say something and type it in there. And be sure to write something even if it's just hi, because then it's then you're eligible for the chat and the raffle, excuse me. And also for quality, on your screen, you'll notice at the bottom of your picture screen, there's a little gear-like thing. Looks like a gear. Hopefully there's a red HD in the gear. And if there's not, I've been told to have people check this because the quality can be dramatically affected by it. So you click on that gear, click on settings, and it should be, quality should be as high a number as you can, hopefully 1080. So anyway, if we lose the live connection for some reason, then just wait a few moments, click on my picture again, and then a little live symbol shows up next to the volume slider right at the bottom left. So click on that live and it'll all come back. So I appreciate the support because then I don't, I think, yeah, I have a help. And that's if you lose your link. So also there's a tip jar that we're going to put in the chat and I think down below in the tip jar pinned to the comments at the top. That's it. Yeah. So appreciate any support because then hopefully you won't have to sell my guitars to go to Nashville for the next batch. And so an overview of what we're going to do today, I'm going to play some live songs, and we're going to have a bunch of raffling off a bunch of cool merchandise. And then I'm going to give you an exclusive preview of the new song coming out next Friday called Stuck. That's the first of 5 new songs from the Nashville sessions that I just finished. And my guess is many of you have come to this live stream after hearing a particular song or two. And many of you have heard I Fell for Those Eyes, or Fever Dreams, or Daydream, or the songs with Sean Jones, which were Take a Chance and That's What I Need. But today I'm going to talk about Daydream because I haven't in the private group yet that much, and the inspiration, and I'll perform it how it was originally written on guitar. So again, thanks for everyone for your support. We've now reached 1,000 YouTube subscribers, thanks to you, and over 200 people in our private insiders group on Facebook. And that's just starting since last January, January 21, so about a year and a half now. And if you'd like to join the private insiders group, there's a link in the live stream description down below. You may have to click on the More button to see it, as well as all these other things we're going to tell you about. So first off, 3 things, a little bit about me and who I am. The 3 things that I'm most often asked are why 3 names? Why John Trescott Lewis? Of course, everyone knows me as John Lewis, except for the people that knew my previous band, which was called J.J. Trescott, coincidentally. And the reason is because when I started to put music out a year and a half ago, I found that when I looked on YouTube and Spotify, there were quite a few people named John Lewis, spelled L-U-I-S, just like me. And several of them were people that were doing music videos in their garage. And that was not what I was doing down in Mexico. And so that's not who I was. So I thought there's got to be some way. So that's why I went ahead and used my middle name Trescott as well. A second question I'm often asked is, am I Spanish? And the answer is no, I am not, even though it's spelled L-U-I-S. I'm actually, my mom is Irish and my dad is from China. And that's a long story, but the family name is actually Liu. And when my grandmother, who was American, came back here with the kids after marrying someone from China in 1905, and when they came here, for some reason on my dad's papers, she put L-U-I-S. And we don't really know why. He's the only one in the family who is named this. And interesting thing, he's the youngest of the group, so he would have been about 10 years old maybe. So perhaps that explains it. We don't really even know why, even though I talked to my grandmother a lot, and somehow that never came up. Anyway, third thing is, do you have 2 different colored eyes? I get that all the time. And the answer is Kinda. I have what's called anisocoria. And anisocoria is where someone has a pupil that is dilated most of the time, even though they have regular color around their eyes, in my case, green. And, and it's open most of the time, so I'm very light sensitive. And for those of you that were particularly observant, you may have noticed that the publishing company name that we have is called Anisocorian Music. And in the logo and in the JTL logo, oh, now, by the way, I'm wearing my JTL shirt today. There is a kind of an homage to the eyes that you might notice. So that's a couple things. Also, as I've talked about a little bit before, I was a music major in college and wanted to be this great guitar player. And the only problem was there was great guitar players all over the place in Pasadena in 1974, 1975, 1976, including Mr. Eddie Van Halen, of course, because we're all from Pasadena. And Van Halen, of course, was playing all over town at that time, all over our town, because they were just a backyard band. And they were called Mammoth at that time. And shortly after, changed their name to Van Halen. And you could actually, they played my high school, the girls' school behind my house. You could actually hire the band to play your backyard party for, I think it was $300, which was a lot of money in 1975. But it didn't seem like a fortune. It might have been worth it. Anyway, the thing about Eddie is that he was just, even though he hadn't done any of the things that he was about to do, he was just better than everyone else. And he sounded better. And you just watch him and it was fun. So I still love playing guitar. After hearing Jimi Hendrix, I had to do that. So I changed my major to television engineering, which fortunately was a specialty of the school I went to. And after getting a degree and many years of trying, wasn't automatic, I got an interview and a job offer at ABC Television Network in Hollywood. And I started there. And this is so giving up my music career, pretty much. I started, and my very first day was on General Hospital, of all things. And this is 1978, about June, I think. And so I was assisting cameraman and moving the booms around and helping with the audio. I was in the engineering department, which means you could do camera, boom, audio, lighting, video controls, anything like that they needed you to do that day. And so I spent a lot of time on General Hospital. Over the next, as you know, 40 years, I spent a lot of time on General Hospital. And in the end, I ended up being the technical manager for the show and for all my children, and was responsible for bringing all my children out to Los Angeles from New York and keeping that going for a year or so. And that was great fun. But my point in all this is that along the way, I got to do tons and tons of soap operas and more importantly, comedy, more sitcoms. And I loved doing that. I was a boom operator by this time, and I was doing Barney Miller and Soap and Benson and Welcome Back, Kotter. And Mr. Belvedere, did 6 years of Mr. Belvedere. Lovely people. Okay show. Great people. Gary Shandling's show, a couple years of Night Court. Married with Children, Facts of Life, Family Feud, of all things. And some great, I have stories from almost all of these. I won't bore you with them. But some from Lawrence Welk. Yeah, on the last days of Lawrence Welk, I actually did sound effects on that show, which was just wonderful. And from there, we ended up doing award shows, Academy Award shows and stage audio for that, and American Music Awards and all sorts of things like that. This whole thing kept me, busy 10 to 12 to 14 hours a day, and sometimes weekends for the next 30 to 40 years. And as you can imagine, and you've all heard before, that television industry is very, very long hours. So that kept my music set aside. Oh, I see chats are coming in. Hey, hi, Midge. Hi, Midge.
And Robert.
Hi, Robert. Hey, Danielle Robeck. Let's scroll up a bit. Yeah.
And Rena.
Yeah, and Rena. So anyway, that was taking all my time, and that's why music got set aside, and where I I really had to put it on hold until I retired and ended up rebuilding my studio here. That's why I just started doing music in the last year and a half. So people often ask me that as well. So with that in mind, we have a raffle coming up. And apparently we're going to give away a mouse pad. And we're ready to do that. That's cool. So we have a random number generator that works out really well. So we're going to from the chat. Actually, if you just say hi in the chat, it puts you in the list, so we know who's there. And whoever ends up winning this, you just email us back, and we'll give you the email and all that. Actually, I'll tell you right now. All you do is email me with your address, your email address or whatever, at john@musicbygtl.com. john@musicbygtl.com.
Okay.
And we're going to
Winner.
do our random generator.
Okay. Scott Spindell.
Scotty. Scotty's won a mouse pad. And not just any mouse pad. It actually goes as a logo. So send that over to me.
Okay, so have him send it.
Yeah, send your email to me to john@musicbygtl.com.
So we forget.
Yeah, woo, that's right. Cool. Okay. She's writing it all down for me. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. There we go. Oh, I got to switch guitars. Second. Oh, thank you. All right. Put on the other guitar. Talk amongst yourselves for just a minute.
Right here.
Yeah, I gotta put this back. There we go. It's so complicated. It's so terribly complicated. All right. It's so complicated. My strap fell off. I know there's a few guitar players in there. I know you all know what that's like. All right, one quick thing. So my dad, I told you, was from China. And every time I do this, he would call and tell me, he would tell me, hey, I know what that is. That's this ancient Chinese pastime. And that pastime was very popular and everyone knew it. And as silly as it was, this is a dad joke, he said it was called Tu Ning. And that's what it was. Sometimes I get a feeling deep in my soul. Sometimes I get a feeling I just can't control. Sometimes I get a feeling it's just in my heart. It's such a feeling I know that we'll never part. She brings me love. I know that's all that I need. Sometimes I get a feeling deep in my bone. Sometimes I get a feeling it won't leave me alone. Sometimes I get a feeling deep inside. It's such a feeling, my love, and I cannot hide. She brings me love, and I know that's all that I need. She brings me love, and I know that's all that I need. Sometimes I get a feeling deep in my soul. Sometimes I get a feeling I just can't control. And sometimes I get a feeling deep that I need. She brings me love, and I know that's all that I need. She brings me love. She brings me love. She brings me love. She love. She brings me love. She brings me love. Sometimes I get a feeling deep in my bones. Sometimes I get a feeling it won't leave me alone. Sometimes I get a feeling deep inside. It's such a feeling, my love, that I cannot hide. She brings me love, and I know it's all that I need. She brings me love, and I know that's all that I need. Woo. Anybody know who sang that? Hey Danielle, I remember you and your mom's sister. Yeah. From GH, yeah. She's saying that she's was watching with her mom and her sister every day. Cool. Yeah, I had a few on cameras on General Hospital and a few other shows, but not all that much, because the whole point of it was for us not to be on camera. Cool. So the other thing is that
Scott guessed Bad Company.
Scott gets Bad Company. Of course you did. I knew you'd know that one. It was Bad Company. It's She Brings Me Love. One of the things we're talking about today is the inspiration behind Daydream. Of course, that requires a switch of the song guitar as well, because, thank you. Because it requires a very special guitar. Thank you. And when I first started working on this song, it was about the time when COVID was happening. A little before that. It's hard to tell. It all kind of goes in a big circle. And anybody else have trouble with that whole thing about the circle of time that we've lost or gained? And anyway, so we were out traveling around in Oregon, and I ended up getting this guitar while I was on the trip. And look at how beautiful this is. This is a handmade guitar by a guy named Greg Davidge. And he built this, and I met him, and I bought it, and we became friends, and I just love it because it just sounds like no other guitar, especially for finger picking and stuff. So yeah, so the inspiration behind Daydream. Sorry, I got misplaced there for a minute. So I'm a big Beatles fan, and I'm a big Paul McCartney fan. And Paul McCartney was doing, or had done a song called For No One. And then he did a video of For No One with a stringed orchestra, probably chamber orchestra, I guess you would call it, a flugelhorn and some others. And it was so beautiful and so inspiring. I thought, oh, I would like to write a song like that one day. And so then this movie came out called Yesterday, and you may have heard of it. It's about a guy that gets hit by lightning, and when he wakes up from that, no one had ever heard of the Beatles except for him, for the most part. So he would walk around, and he was a musician, and not a very good one, and no one was really paying any attention to his music. All of a sudden, just because he started playing Beatles songs. And when he did, everyone would go crazy because he was so amazing. These songs were so great. So the audience and him know that it's fake, but no one else seems to. So this goes along for a while, and he's playing all these wonderful Beatles songs. And the girl that's taking care of him, if you haven't seen this movie, I won't blow it, but the girl is taking care of him, helping him out like a manager, is clearly in love with him to the audience. But to him, she's just a good friend. And this goes on, and apparently at some point she just gives up and says, I've had enough, and leaves, and doesn't really explain. And the guy's like, what happened? Where did you go? Why did you leave? Of course, she's gone, so he can't ask her these questions. Meantime, all of his friends and her friends are talking to each other saying, what an idiot. Did he let her slip away? He must be living in a daydream. What kind of dummy, right? So he ends up on becoming famous for the Beatles songs and ends up on a late night show. And there's an actress on the show with him that night. Now, this is a deleted scene from the movie. You can find it on YouTube, but not in the movie itself. And he's asked, because everyone thinks he's a great songwriter, to come up and play a song. So they just happen to have a guitar, and they set it down in his lap, and he's shocked and surprised at this. So he just starts playing with a few chords and not sure what he's going to do. And then the female actress that's there is blown away by it. And you can tell from the look on her face that she is just enthralled. And he's doing... He's playing something. And you can tell when he does it and he sings the first part of it to her, the look in her eyes is just love. She's falling in love with the song. She's falling in love with him right at the moment you're watching it. It is so moving. I can't imagine why they take it out of the movie, but they did. Anyway, it was wonderful. So I was so moved by that I was just wondering where I could fit in something like that. So I was telling you before, no one was into, which starts kind of like that. Similar. Did he let us slip away? He must be living in a daydream. He needs some very simple words to give us something she can hold. When you find yourself in love, it almost feels like it's a daydream. Remember all these simple words and give us something she can hold. I want to love, want to hold, want to breathe. You need my love, need my soul, need to breathe. The deeper that I go in love, once you've been around the world, looking back is like a daydream. So with these very simple words, let me tell you what she'll know. I want to love, want to hold, want to breathe. You need my love, need my soul, need to breathe. The deeper that I fall in love. You know what's on my mind. Wish that I was in a daydream to help me with these simple words, so I can tell her how I feel. I want to love, want to hold, want to breathe. You need my love, need my soul, need to breathe. The deeper that I fall, the deeper that I fall, the deeper that I fall in love. It is so weird to play music and not be able to see or hear people back, but oh, that's helpful. Thank you. So that's what inspired Daydream, and that's obviously a different version than the recorded version with the piano and Lee singing, and the violin from Andrea. And of course, we'll be talking more about that in the Insiders group as well when we do another behind the scenes or behind the music video for that, which was actually mostly done. And as a reminder, there is a tip jar if you feel so inclined, and that would be wonderful. And that would help cover the fact that I won't have to sell my guitars to go to Nashville, hopefully.
Down in the description.
And the tip jar is up. It should be. Is it up in the? It's not in the comments. It's down below in the description, and in YouTube description. And you might have to click on more to see it. It's called tip jar. And that would be very cool. The other stuff that you can get for yourself, and you can order if you like, is first of all, there's a free starter pack for everybody in our group, Insiders group, which starts with the postcard, which I will sign and fill out for you, which is kind of cool. This is the old artwork, which is about to change. And one of my favorites, which is I don't know why I like these, but I do. This is a refrigerator magnet, and I like this stuff all over my refrigerator. Reminds me of it. And I'm pretty happy with the picture. It's cool. And of course, the JTL sticker, which you can put on the back window of your car if you want. And of course, the amazing guitar picks, which I will try to hold up for you. See if it'll focus. Look at that. Oh, yeah. There you go. My very own guitar picks. So also there's merchandise on the website at musicbyjtl.com, and in the merch site, and the merchandise like this, and more merchandise. And there's, of course, as we're about to do another raffle, we're going to raffle this cool baby, which fits me perfectly, and of course has the monogram on the back, and this is all embroidered, which is very cool, and it's got the fancy clasp. So we're about to raffle that off, and so the merch on the website, and then of course you can, if so inclined, you can book a meet and greet with me, a one-on-one session on Zoom, and that is also in the description below. Click on more, and you'll see it, and it will say meet and greet, and apparently we have the cool T-shirts, which I'm wearing one of the JTL T-shirts right now, and the backside looks like this. And of course, we also have, for those of you that are into Daydream, because I tried this on, it just doesn't fit me right. Okay, hold on. There we go.
We also have it in T-shirts.
Yeah, we have T-shirt, and we have the tank top, which I'm terrible at holding. There we go. For Daydream. So T-shirts. And all that is on the merch site, Music by JTL. You can see it all shows up in there. And you can choose the size you want and all that. But you can go there directly, or you can just email us directly at john@musicbyjtl.com. And now we're going to raffle the hat, which apparently we're ready.
Dun, da, da, da.
Dun, da, da, da.
Danielle Broadbeck.
Oh, Danielle Broadbeck. You got a JTL hat. Very cool. So just email me at john@musicbyjtl, and that will get that straightened out.
Get that sent out to you.
Yeah, we'll get that sent out to you and the like.
Okay,
Oh, okay. Gotta pull the old guitar switch again for this one here. Oh. Excuse me a second. Thank you. It's pretty awesome to have a roadie right in your house, I'll tell you. It's who's pretty awesome in every way and takes care of everything, as you can imagine. Okay, now I can hear again. I can hear all of you too. It's interesting. Okay, so a little while ago.
read Danielle's comment.
Oh, thank you, Danielle. Encore. It's beautiful. I'm glad you liked it. It's interesting. You know, I told you we just got back from Washington visiting our new grandbaby. We have 2 grandbabies now, but the new one is a boy. And there's always a little bit of frogginess that you get, you know, when you go on a trip these days. I wouldn't say it's COVID. It's just, you know, what is it from the air, cold air on the airplane or whatever. And you get, it's hard to do those high notes. Kind of why I had Lee sing it, because Lee is wonderful. Anyway, so my wonderful daughter, Jess, got married a couple years ago now. And the story is out there, but she asked me to do a country song for her at her wedding. And I had about 3 weeks, I think it was, to get it together or so. And so I thought, the ones that she gave me, I didn't think I could do them justice, or at least make them my own, make them, you know, worthwhile. So I decided I'd just write one instead. So I looked back at all the wonderful things that we had in our lives, and came up with this one, and it's called Daydream. No, it's not called Daydream.
Time slips away. Oh, sorry.
It would have been called Daydream
Ready,
had I
probably.
done it that way.
There you go.
All right, wow. Okay, there we go. Anyway, it's called Time Slips Away. Oh, cool thing about this lick. That cool lick would stop my granddaughter from a crying fit. You know, when kids get, you know, when they're babies, they just cry like crazy. She would hear this, and she would stop crying, whatever she was doing, and look to the music. So not with the vocals, only with me playing it, just this instrumental. So my poor daughter had to play on Spotify over and over and over and over in the car when the baby was fussy. Only the beginning. And as soon as the vocals started, she had to go back. So because of that, I created the instrumental version that I'm going to put out for her. Anyway, time slips away. I recall the night you're born. It started like another day. The Beatles were playing their songs while grandmother looked on and prayed. We had so much love to give to you. Each moment that we had, we'd spend with you. But time slips away. Then you're running off to school to help you learn those golden rules. Your teachers would often say, she'll change the world one day. She has so much love to give to you. And everyone that knows her knows it's true. I can tell you from experience day after day. like I did with you, like I do with you. Playing music all day long, then I come home and hear your song. Your brother and you would play, building castles in the sand all day. And I don't know if you can understand. Everywhere we walked, I'd hold your hand, 'cause time slips away. Soon I know you'll be gone to start a family of your own. Precious times will come your way. Hold on to them every day, like I do with you, like I do with you, like I do with you, like I do with you. Oh man, that still gets me all misty-eyed every time I hear it. Oh my gosh, so that's Time Slips Away. And the video we created for it, by the way, is on YouTube now, and we kind of targeted toward the wedding video crowd, and it did really well. I mean, there's a lot of people in India that really love it. It's doing well all over, but India was dramatically surprising. Thank you, Danielle, again.
This and this and this.
Hey, Connor. Connor says, Azalea, my little granddaughter, just stopped in her tracks while you started playing the song. Oh man, I wish you had video of that. Midge says, the song always drew a tear. Love it. Thank you so much, Midge. That's great. You know, I figure if we have 10 people on a live stream, life is good, because it's just me hanging with some people that we love and having a good time with it all, right?
Tell them to be sure and say hi in the chat.
Oh, and everyone that's online, be sure to at least say hi in the chat. You just say hi or anything that you feel comfortable with, because then we can get you in the raffle and
One more raffle.
one more raffle, right? Yeah. So next thing I'm going to talk about a little bit is the new song, and new songs coming out. I've had the opportunity to work with some amazing musicians, and mostly, 2 or 3 here and there in one time. Songs, for the most part, it's hard to record all at once anymore. Maybe you know this, maybe you don't. But for the most part, a lot of things have to be done individually. As a matter of fact, the majority of the songs, other than Daydream, the majority of the other songs, Fever Dreams, even I Fell for Those Eyes, most of the other songs I recorded right here in this room here. And then with the live things were done in the garage, recording in here. And a few things were brought in from the outside, but most everything I do, I'd either done here in my studio or at a friend's studio, but only a few people at a time. So we had to bring in people, and on some of those songs, we have amazing musicians that I'm friends with, thank goodness, or the friends of friends connected us up. Rick Farabracci, by the way, is on several songs. He's on I Fell for Those Eyes, and Rick is an amazing bass player out there, and it's played for everybody. Chick Corea, Herbie Hancock, just everybody. So many people, I almost don't think I can name them. Then Greg Collister is one of my peeps that I play at church with all the time, and he is an amazing drummer, and he plays on many of these. We got the equally amazing Bob Shepard to play sax on I Fell for Those Eyes. That's the solo sax you hear on that. And yeah, he's the guy from Steely Dan and a bunch of other bands where he's the one that everybody else looks to find out, how does he sound like that? So that solo is on there. Anyway, the point I'm making is that it's challenging to create a song like the ones that you've heard so far, doing one instrument at a time. I'll play the guitar, and then I'll do the piano, or I'll bring my buddy Matt in. Matt Harris has played on almost every song for me, except for just a couple. He's the most amazing piano player. And I love what he does, and he played on Daydream as well. That was live, by the way. And so it's been my dream to go to Nashville and put together a band of great musicians that could play the song with me and get it all worked out. And then it would be great because the vibe of the band would be there. Now, I know Scotty and several other friends of mine who are musicians know what I'm talking about. I mean, that's the holy grail, to get a great band that works with you. So that's what I did. And, like I said, I waited 40 some years to do it. I'm going to go to Nashville, do it. Of course, I love the band that I play with here all the time. They're my guys. They're my close friends. But this is a little different because these are my songs. Nobody else wrote them. No one co-wrote these. And I'm singing all of them, which is, you might note, unusual. I haven't sang any of the songs so far. I'm a firm believer, and the song is what dictates the musician and the type of song it is and the singer. It has to be what's right for the song. And I hope you would agree that Lee was right for Daydream, even though I love singing it. I liked the way he did it because I wanted it done that way. Amanda Herarte, who sang I Fell for Those Eyes and The Mighty Have Fallen, spectacular singer. I had to change the key to these songs from here to here because I can't sing up that high very well. So we did that because that's what it's, what it's all about. And you do what's best for the song. And I had to put my own ego aside and take that out. So went to Nashville, and I brought these guys all together, and I was working with the drummer, and the drummer helped me. We were working out what the Nashville guys were going to want to see. It's called the Nashville System. So we charted out the songs. It kind of worked out and made sure the tempos are right and everything was good. So I do have a little bit of video to show you before I get into the new song. And you'll hear a few things behind it. I'll tell you what you're hearing in the background. Here you go. This is us hearing the song one time. So it happens to be a different song, but you get the idea. You're hearing the song one time. This is me just working out some acoustic parts. This is Brian, the drummer, checking out his sound. It's kind of cool. Jeff King, amazing guitar player. This is the bass player and the drummer. This is Dane playing keyboards on these songs that you're about to hear. And Dane just produced Dolly's remake of Jolene with Olivia Newton-John, and it's doing great. And me and my guitar pose.
All through with you, got nothing here for me. I was blind.
Doing a little bit of lyric you're about to hear.
Find my own way out, it's true. I'm blue 'cause you cost a bunch of green.
And us mixing it the next day. So it was a very fast, very, very fast procedure. We did these songs. The first song, the guys came and listened to it like I showed you. And they listened to it one time and said, I think we got it. And they went out there and they started playing it right then and there. And we did it 3 times. And by the third time, they were, the guitar player said, I already have it. And just give me another track. And he started doing extra parts. and the acoustic guitar player did the same thing. And so on a bunch of these, I played some guitar, but mostly that electric was Jeff King, that amazing guy there. And oh yeah, so on the song I've got here, the way I write music, I like to have Word doc, and then I'll have a picture of whatever it is I'm writing about, and that's very inspirational for me to really carry that forward, and keep doing that, and having that inspiration right in front of you. And this is an example of the song we're about to hear, and it's called "Stuck," and I'll show you a close up. Okay, so I think you can see that, but here's what it really looks like. And this makes me laugh so much that, and so it's going to be my Canvas video on the Spotify channel. So if you watch this song on Spotify and click on the button at the bottom, this video of this is going to come up, and it's going to say, "No luck, I'm stuck." And it's going to play on and on and on. So without further ado, this next song is called "Stuck." It will be out next Friday, August 5th. Stuck in over my head, can't stay all day while the skids work down, hanging tight. Alright, 'cause I got things to do. I ain't gonna stick around giving to the likes of you. Somebody to come clean. Well, oh yeah, the first time we met, I was trying to forget the last one that kicked my heart. Wasn't my intention to get into life detention with the first one to come along. Yeah. Nothing really had gone wrong. Now it's my intention to restart the old connection with the one I thought was wrong. In luck, I'm stuck. I'm in up to my head. I'll stay all day just to work it out and hanging tight. Alright, just being here with you. Guess I'm gonna stick around and give in to the likes of you. There you have it. You are the very first people in the whole world, pretty much, to hear that outside of my family. And hope you got a kick out of it. Obviously, it's in the Americana country vein, which is fine. I love doing that too. I did 2 songs with Sean Jones, the great blues country singer. That's What I Need and Take a Chance. And if you haven't heard those, Sean is amazing. So he sang those. And the song will be out next Friday, August 5th. I'm not sure what time, probably first thing in the morning. Please go to YouTube and Spotify and press the like button and listen, if you can, all the way through. More than once if you like it, because you have the power to make it take off. I don't know if you know this, but both YouTube and Spotify are our main distribution platforms. Look at if people come in and watch right away or listen, and then they listen all the way through, and if they like it. Those are the two key things. So how many times do people listen to something over and over, and if they like something, and if they listen all the way through? It's hugely helpful. So last raffle, we are going to give away the t-shirt, actually. So it's if you're a lady, you can choose really which shirt you like. I mean, if you want a JTL shirt, you can do that. We have those. And of course the Daydream shirts and
Daydream tank tops.
and Daydream tank top.
Fever dreams.
Yeah. So, and that's going to be
Our big winner is, let's see, Midge
It is Midge. Midge. Awesome. There you go, Midge. So Danielle has got quite a few comments there. Yeah, I'm not sure I can answer those. Nobody else has sung except for you. Yes, you just heard one, actually. Actually, that one I just played. So all the new songs, and there's 5 of them. There's actually 6 new songs coming out, 5 that are with this band, and they are all very different. So that one's kind of a line dancing song, and that is the goal for that. And then the next one is a pop tune. It's also kind of line dancing. And the next one is a full-on dance tune, kind of like Uptown Funk in that way, if you don't mind me using that as a comparison. And as a reminder, the tip jar is up there, and you can find it down in the description below. And please feel free to join the Private Insiders group if you're not already there.
There's a nice comment.
Hey, Connor. Thanks, Connor. That's very, very... Can't wait for stuff to come out. Either can I. A week from today. And thank you again for creating this great community on Facebook and YouTube, and we're very glad to connect with you all. So check the Facebook group often for the next announcements, and it looks like I'm just about at time.
Yeah.
Thank you all for coming, and I look forward to the next time. See you then.